I've been thinking this way for a long time, how we literally have one chance in this physical world, one life, and time does not stop. Days become weeks, weeks become months, and months become years. Often they pass by and majority of people are still not fully fulfilled. Then one day it's over, and you realize you had full control of the story of your life this whole time. If you're truly satisfied right now, that's amazing, and I'm so happy for you. If you still know that you want to look back and know that you did more, contributed more, shared more, traveled more, loved more, learned more, lived more, and just took more risks, instead of just doing what you think you have to do, then it's never too late to live a life you love, and I'm here to inspire you to do that, even if it's just a little bit. This new season of life is all about satisfying my dreams and fulfilling my soul, not just my societal duties as I've done in the past. Life is too short, too delicate, too spectacular to not do what sets your soul on fire, and there's too much out there to experience. It's time to do that.
Hello, beautiful people. It's Jessica Hart, and we're back. After 2 long years since I uploaded a video on here. It's crazy sitting here with the lights and the cameras and everything and just sitting back here and talking to you guys and just sharing my life again. It's been a long 2 years that have had a lot of things happen, and I'm here to just update you on those things, what new direction we have for this channel, and just the new outlook on life and what I want to do. So I'm excited that you're here listening to this and that you join me on this new comeback video to YouTube. When I first started this channel, I wanted to inspire and motivate people through specifically fitness and just mindset. Fitness has always been a huge part of my life, and it was almost like an identity to me. Everyone knew that I loved to work out and that I always wanted to be fit, and I wanted to inspire others to do the same. Fitness was there for me for a really long time, especially when I entered the real world, which was corporate America. I wanted to give some context into where I've been the past 2 years and kind of what's happened that led us here. I have a video on here, I'll link it below, basically talking to myself, but in a way telling a story about this man that I met on a train and talked to him straight for 5 hours, and just the lasting impression that he had on me because of his story, pursuing his passions and what he wanted versus what society was telling him to do. I wanted to share that video with you, but I also wanted to speak to my old self that had kind of gotten lost in this rat race, and I'm sure a lot of you maybe can relate to what I'm talking about. So backtrack a couple years. I'm fresh out of college, getting into that corporate life. You know, this is where I first felt the spark for myself leave. It might sound dramatic, but if a lot of you guys have been in a toxic job or just an environment that's not really meant for you, you know how that can affect your life, and it really affected mine. Along with the rest of the team at the job I was working with, we all really fell into a very dark, weird, confused, hopeless mental space. They actually had suggested if we were interested that they would bring in therapists for us because of how much the team was struggling mentally. And it was for a lot of reasons that I won't get into, but it was a very toxic job. I loved the people that I worked with, but we all say that we're like bonded for life because of this experience. But it really was like a 2-year, very dark mental hole that I was in. And this is where I had lost that spark to create and to have fun and to express myself in fitness or just mindset and motivation. And it was a really hard time. In that video, like I mentioned, I'll link down below, I speak about that experience with the man on the train and just my interpretation of it. And more so, it's a video talking to myself, but also to anybody else who might be struggling with feeling lost or hopeless in what they want to do with their life versus what they're actually doing with it right now. I made that video talking to my old self and reminding myself that I would never let anything, let alone a job, come in the way of my joy and my happiness and my fulfillment. I found a way to put myself out of that black hole that I was in and found a way to express myself through fitness again and motivation, and it was very fulfilling and it was successful, but to a certain point. I again lost that touch when I started a new job. It was much better than the old one, but towards the end of me leaving that job after 2 years last summer, and another thing happened that kind of set me into that dark place. I went through a pretty rough experience that for me was almost life-altering and life-awakening, if that's even like a saying. In turn, that also led me to a very hard loss in my life, and so at the same time I was grieving while recovering / healing, and literally in the same month or week, I don't even remember, in the same time period, hit the fan at my job, and it was all at once. So I was trying to process the trauma and the healing and the grief while also balancing a job that I was completely burnt out at again, and just wouldn't process one thing or the other. I was like trying to escape from that other side while like jumping into that burnt out work and like saying that it's okay because I was going through this, that I could just distract myself from it, but at the same time not processing either one and not making time for myself, and just fell down a really dark place where I was like, what am I doing with my life and where do I want to go from here? This is also while in quarantine during a global pandemic. I know there's so many other people that are going through way worse things. Trust me, this, like that saying goes, if you put all your problems in a basket and you see everyone else's, you pick yours right back up. I understand that, but for me it was just like a very, very, very hard time, and I just knew that I can't live my life like this. I wasn't gonna let myself continue to live a life that I wanted to run away from. I don't think that's how you should live. I missed that version of me that was so vibrant and creative and wanted to just inspire and share, and all I was like a shell of that. And obviously I know that I should give myself grace through, you know, being burnt out at a job and also going through trauma and experiencing a lot of PTSD symptoms and grief and everything all at once during a global pandemic where I can't leave anywhere either. So I know I should give myself grace through that, but I just was like, I can't do this. I went to therapy to try and help process everything that was going on, and it did help a bit. I am a big advocate for therapy, but I knew I also needed help myself. We both were not from Michigan. We were from, his family was in England and my family was in San Diego. And we'd gone to Michigan on soccer scholarships, and that's how we met, finished out senior year together, moved in, and started corporate life. And that's, you know, where everything I feel like really began, you know, real life, adult life began. We're so grateful for the life that we had in Michigan. We had amazing friends, we made amazing memories. Obviously that's a place that we met, so there was a lot of very comfortable feelings there, but we both knew that something was missing and that we didn't quite feel like this was home. So we decided that we needed to make a change, and that's what's led us here. Right before we decided what was going to be the change that we needed to make, I had actually quit that job and found a new job that had a very purposeful mission that I felt very aligned with, that treated me well, and I just felt like finally it's something that allows me to feel purposeful in what I do. And it was also 100% remote, which was awesome in us thinking about what we wanted to do. 8 years living in Michigan, 2 jobs, and a lot of trauma and unhappiness, and it's not unhappiness, it was just more of like more longing for something that I knew wasn't gonna happen here. And we decided to sell everything, and I'm filming this video from California because we now live here again. It was such a quick yet thought out decision. Literally in 1 week I sold all of our apartment belongings except for our necessities, and we packed up my Chevy Equinox and drove it across the country to California, to San Diego. We said goodbye to 8 years and said hello to a risk of new beginnings, and that's what I'm all about. If you don't risk it, you'll never know. So we decided to take it. I really feel like if you are not happy in a situation or something doesn't feel right in your life, you deserve the chance to take a risk and change it. So we made that cross-country trip, and it was full of adventures. We stopped along the way a bunch of different states and visited some friends in different states, and just had fun being us to going on our new adventure, you know? And once we got to San Diego, it was summertime and I had the best summer. I have my really good friends here and we have my family here, and it was just the most fun summer hanging out together, doing things, and I just felt finally like I was in the right direction again. Then again, because of us being remote and us taking the leap to do this was mainly for us to be able to visit family more and be able to travel between San Diego and England. We then went to England after a couple months in San Diego. In not even 2 months, we were in Sheffield, London, Liverpool, Manchester, and even fit in a trip to the Czech Republic when we went to Prague for a week. So it was so much fun to be able to be like, I'm finally not cocooned up in my apartment in Michigan, miserable for many reasons and cold, and feeling like there's something else out there that I have to do. I don't know if me settling here again anymore, even after 8 long years, I still can't find something, is the right move. I finally felt like, okay, I had an amazing summer in San Diego. I was back with my family, back with my friends, back in the sun. Then I also could go to England to visit and, you know, experience that side of things where when I was young, I didn't really travel that much because every summer or winter we went to Mexico to visit my family. So being able to travel and experience the world was something that was important to me, and I realized that, and this let me capitalize on that, and I just felt just so much more in my element and so free, and like I'm just one to definitely say experience the world, go out there, do things. And me being able to then, you know, go to England and be in San Diego just made me feel very motivated again, and bringing back that creative and expressive side of me that wants to share this with you. Hope this little story of my little life has some resonance to you guys, or if not necessarily a resonance, but a spark to do whatever that one thing is in your life that you've been thinking about doing for a while. I thought about this for 8 years. Technically, I guess since I moved to Michigan, I wanted to already come back. If that just inspires you to go after whatever it is that you're contemplating or wishing that you were doing, I hope that it inspires you in that way. Here we are, we're back on YouTube. We are feeling better. Honestly, my mental health has skyrocketed. Of course, I struggle a lot still due to like the PTSD, and it's a very difficult thing that I never thought I would be in. And if you like, I never knew. I always thought PTSD was like either from abuse or sexual assault or obviously war or combat, but a lot of situations can cause PTSD, and mine very well warranted that. But I still am obviously struggling some days and I'm working on it, but this has definitely been a huge positive shift in my life, and I'm so happy that I took it. And because of this, I now want to share it with you guys and share my journeys of traveling and living this like digital nomad life, I guess you can say, in a way, even though really our base is here, but we are able to travel. For example, next week I'm going back to England to visit again for a couple weeks, and I'm just so excited for being able to have this opportunity to travel and experience. So through this channel, and it's new but similar perspective on just sharing things about my life, I hope to inspire anyone that watches to just live their best life, romanticize their life, go after the things that you want. And I will be sharing a lot of my travels, you know, doing some fun travel vlogs or just lifestyle things like get ready with me's or fashion stuff. I've again found my love for fashion and beauty. I've always had a passion for that, but it's definitely changed a lot, so that's exciting. And then also, of course, some wellness, because duh. I just want to share just my life and me finally living it again and romanticizing it, and just how I'm changing things around from a very negative, sad, hopeless place that I was in, especially the past couple years. This is really going to be me documenting my life and everything that encompasses it now, because it's technically a life that I'm creating. I wasn't happy with my old one per se, and I'm creating this one, and I just want to document it and show you guys that it's never too late to make a change in your life. And I hope that you enjoyed this journey with me and are ready for some travel and fashion and day in the life, and just like I hope it even inspires you a little bit to, you know, even if it's just, if you work at home all day and it inspires you to go outside on a walk, or, you know, just romanticize it, make it a life that you love and that you don't want to escape from. I'm excited to share how I'm balancing now, you know, being in the working force, but also making time to express myself and my passions and be joyful, and, you know, not putting myself behind the identity of a job, or also the identity of whatever else it might be, pleasing other people or whatnot. It's like, it's my life and I'm taking ownership of it and taking you guys along with me. You only have one life, and I know if you've watched me before, or you're my friend, or follow me on social media, you know that I love to say that because it's so true. You only have one life, and there's always going to be twists and turns, but I just want you to know that you're never stuck. Although you might think you're stuck and everything's hitting you left and right and you can't get back up, you can always get back up. You are always one decision away from living an entirely different life, as I have literally proved to myself. I am living a completely different life in only 6 months. I've done so much in 6 months compared to, well, not compared to, I guess, but I've done a lot in 6 months that have shown me that the life that I'd always wanted actually was possible. I started this channel to share my passions and everything, and of course life hit a turn and I'm back now, so I wanted to just give you guys kind of like a comeback video and share where I've been the past 2 years and just like the background to everything that's led us here, and hopefully it inspires you to hit that subscribe button and follow along for this journey if you're not already subscribed, and watch out for videos coming. I think one's coming next week, Pack With Me for England. So if you're into fashion and wanting to know how I packed to go to Europe for a couple weeks, then definitely hit that subscribe button and let's, you know, live life together. I've also started documenting a lot on TikTok. I've been doing some daily vlogs, sharing behind the scenes of my travels, and just other fun videos on there too, so don't forget to subscribe on there. I also had a video hit 1 million views, which was insane, so go check out what video that is because you'll be like, what? So definitely check me out on there. Follow me on social media, on Instagram. I will leave everything linked down below. Also, if you want to comment down below anything you're excited about to see from me, anything you want to see from me, or even just something that maybe you guys want to do, you can share with me. Like, yes, I want to travel more this year. I want to like get better with my style, or I want to eat healthier, whatever it might be. I would love to hear it, and if you put it out there, it'll come back to you. To end this, I want to leave you with the last part of the beginning of this video, the video quote montage, because it's actually an Instagram caption I wrote a while ago, and it is, I hope that you live a life that you love and that you're proud of, and if you don't, I hope that you have the courage, strength, and trust to start all over again. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, and let's go on this journey of loving and romanticizing our life because you only have one. Bye guys.